Morning, everybody. Time to do some yoga. Let's just jump right into it. Where do you want me to start, hon?
Start on your back. Feet together. Knees wide if that's comfortable in your low back. Other options could just be legs long or knees together, feet wide. With every exhale, try to give more weight to the parts of your body that are connected to the ground. We're just going to try a couple rounds of a really purposeful type of breathing. So as you inhale, just notice on your own naturally how many counts or beats, if you were to count, how long does your inhale normally last? Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 5. Just notice that, just the inhales here. And then shift your awareness to noticing the length, so how many beats your exhale lasts. So you have 2 numbers. And the goal for you the next 3 breaths is to make your inhale half the duration of your exhale. In other words, your exhale twice as long. So if you're coming in for 3, you would breathe out for 6. Just one more round on your own. And then gently draw your right knee in. And let your left leg go long. Point and flex your right foot. Roll your ankle. And just gently open your right knee to the right. put your left hand on your left hip point and anchor down through your left hip as you open up. And then bring your right knee across your body for a gentle twist. You want to pick your whole hip area up and move it to the right a little. That might help. Keep focusing on your right shoulder, your right lung being heavy. And then stretch out end to end. Pulling a little more length into each thigh bone, like you're trying to pull the thigh bone out of your hip socket. Bring your left knee in. A little rotation in your ankle. Draw your left knee open, staying anchored in your right hip. And left knee across for a twist. Take one more big long body stretch. Maybe you want to open up like a star this time. And hug your knees both into your belly. Make some circles on the ceiling, just massaging out that space in your low back.
Do the twist.
You already did. And however you want to come up to your hands and knees, you could rock and roll. You could just roll to the side and sit up. Once you land on your hands and your knees, you can start to move back and forth from cat and cow pose. Maybe weaving in that same breathing exercise. So exhale twice as long, or doubling your exhale. Let your mind just settle in on the simple task of moving and breathing together. Eventually landing in your first downward facing dog. Send your right leg high. Bend your knee and roll open. Step your right foot between your thumbs. Come into a low lunge. And a pad for your knee. When you're ready, take your hands to your front thigh and reach them up. Arc your upper half over to the right for a little front of your left hip opening. You can explore tucking your tail more or sending your hips more forward, just to find that kind of right amount across the front of your left hip here. Nick's even moving forward and back with his upper half. Find your way back to down dog. Just feel what might have shifted so far. And left leg high. Roll open. Spend a few breaths there, eventually landing in that low lunge with your left foot forward. A good place again just to wire in what does anterior versus posterior tilt feel like. So anterior would be sending Nick, if you send your butt way back, deep low back bend, that's anterior tilt. Posterior tilt is scooping your tail down and under. So if we're trying to open the hip flexor, which is on the front side of his right hip, you want to be in some amount of posterior tilt. And then adding that side bend to the left or reach forward and to the left. Come back to down dog. Taking a moment to feel deeply what might be shifting or has shifted. Take a breath in. And a long breath out. As you're emptying, step or jump. Come up halfway. Fold, get empty. Reach all the way up. Fold. Halfway. Low plank. Upward. Down dog. Breathe in. Focus on a long exhale. Step or jump. Halfway. Fold. Reach high. fold. Halfway. Low plank. Upward dog, feel the reach in your toes. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. It's clearing out. Walk or jump. Half lift. Fold. As you reach up, right knee up. Empty. Taller in your sides. Step back, warrior one. Swing your arms up, breathe in. Warrior two. Reversed warrior. Kick to standing split. One long breath to pull high. Feet together. Reach all the way up. Breathe out. And pull your left knee up. Stay there. Another breath to get taller. Slide back, warrior one. Breath in to reach. Warrior two. Reversed warrior. Standing split. Peel your heel high. Feet together. Come up halfway, huge breath in. Low push-up. Upward. Down dog. Take 3 breaths here. Feel emotions rising or stress coming up. Take a longer exhale. And rinse that out. Here's your last breath. Get empty. Jump. Halfway. Fold. Reach right knee high. Breathe out. Push down to go up. Warrior one. Inhale. Warrior two. Reverse. Standing split. One breath to kick up. Feet together. As you reach up, left knee up. Breathe out. Sides tall. Warrior one. Inhale. Warrior two. Reversed warrior. Standing split. One breath here. Feet together. Halfway lift. Low push-up. Upward. Downward facing dog. Take a long breath in. Send it out. Jump. Halfway. Fold. Reach high. Chair pose. Just settle in here, keep breathing. Add a little bit of posterior tilt, so draw your tail down. Can you maintain that as you sink back in your heels? Find your way into your right twist in chair. Really tuning in again to the length of your exhale. Having the patience to wait to be really empty. That's where the rotation happens. Gather up. One more deep breath here. Fold. Halfway. One more fold. Reach all the way up. Chair pose. Giving yourself plenty of time in chair to just establish like heels, knees, hips. And eventually making your way to your left twist. Any grip or grab anywhere in your face or your jaw that you could let go of? Breathe in to the end of your exhale. Another breath. Fold. Halfway, high to low, upward, downward, bring your right leg up. Bend and open. Full breath here. Step in crescent feet. You're going to build crescent lunge. So if you're down and you want to stay down with a block or a water bottle, you can, or Nick's coming up high. And giving yourself these breaths this time in crescent to build the base of your twist, your feet, your knees, your hips, all straight ahead. super easy as we enter the rotation to want to dump into a lot of anterior tilt. Keep that little bit of hug of your tailbone down. So we're adding a little more posterior tilt. That also helps you level your hips, keeping them anchored here. Come back to noticing the duration of your exhale. Make it twice the length of your inhale, if you can. Take your final breath in. And again, wait to be totally empty. Roll into Warrior Two. Feel that reach, fingers to fingers. Go to Reversed Warrior. Stay there, breathe out. Just a little more lift here. Side angle. I prefer a little bit longer stance in my side angle. So from Warrior Two, you might walk your feet a little further apart. Nick staying high with his hand just resting gently on his knee. You could also go palm, or back of palm to inner knee. I like that because you can create a little opposition between knee and palm. So push your knee open and at the same time press your knee into your palm. That'll help really actively engage and lengthen the inside of your right thigh. Move into extension with your upper arm now, toward the window, over your left ear. Feel that long line, back heel all the way through your top fingers. Breathe into that line. One more here. Downward facing. Just take a few breaths here. Feel what's coming alive in your body, maybe softening. Empty out here. Bring your left leg up. Bend your knee and open up. Just enjoy. One more breath here. To crescent feet. Taking your time to build your twist to the left. Again, where can you soften? What's not needed as far as effort here? Can you let something go in your jaw, your throat? A couple more longer exhales if you can. This last one, really rinse out. Into Warrior Two. Wingspan, so reach in both directions. Go to Reversed Warrior. Take a long exhale. And then one more reaching long inhale. a side angle. Your breath is always telling the truth, so noticing if it's getting shorter or choppy, and then maybe taking a little bit of effort out so they can regain that softness, smoothness. Move into the extension with your upper arm. Feel all those little spaces between your right ribs, across the front of your right hip. Take a slow breath. Blow it all out. One more to pull long. Down dog. Just move and wiggle here. Take one more breath. Let it out. Walk or jump halfway. Fold. Reach up. Hands to your hips. You're going to set up for pyramid, right foot forward. If you don't have a block at home, stack of books or a really sturdy water bottle can help. Most of us need that elevation with something for pyramid. So here's how this works, right? Pyramid really focuses on lengthening the right hamstring, so back of the right leg. But your hip tilt or tuck controls how much pull you're going to feel in that hamstring. So if you pick your tailbone up toward the ceiling, like anterior tilt, you're going to add to the stretch if you need that. If you pull your tailbone down, it's going to take away. So working with where you're at this morning, or it's morning here anyway. Lean a little more weight back in your left heel. You're going to move into your rotation now, twisting triangle. So left hand stays down. Right hand can come to the low part of your back. Good. Shift your stance a little bit if you need to. You're just going to stay here 3 breaths. In and out. Again, long in, even longer out. This is it. Step in and fold. Reach all the way up. A big exhale. When you're ready, hands on hips to set up for pyramid, left foot forward. totally different leg, right? You might need a totally different approach, which might mean more block or support under your hand or more knee bend. More tuck or tilt. Another place to just check in, is your jaw clenching, or can you set, the intention to just really soften there. Start building your twisting triangle. So right hand down, left hand high or on your low back. And again, put a little more weight back in your right heel if you can, even if that means you need to bend your left knee more. Couple breaths in and out. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Try a little longer breath now. Step into fold. Take your feet wider and squat. Get round into your squat like Nick's doing. Feels good to reach your arms really long. Even send a hip to the left and then to the right to get that little bit of side stretch. And then help yourself slowly sit and come into boat. And start in supported boat. So heels on the mat still. And you can reach your fingertips behind your knees or out in the air. Just find really, really quality like spinal alignment here. So shoulders back. Think about your spine coming deep into your back. And then you can lift your heels either one or both. And then stay with your fingertips behind your knees if you want, or for more challenge, take your arms out in front of you. Keep breathing and keep practicing really good alignment in your trunk. 2 more breaths. Last one here. Cross your legs and press to lift your hips. So press your hands down, lift your hips up. And then come back to boat. Strong in your exhales, like fanning the fire. A little bit of internal heat to hold here. Take a breath. Blow it out. Got 2 to go. In and out. Chest up. Cross your legs and press. One more time, you guys. Boat pose. You might even move to canoe pose, which is like a low hovering boat. Yeah, take a breath. Send it out. And then all the way to your back. Set up for bridge pose, so heels under knees. And take a breath here. As you exhale, think about pinning your low back to the mat. Come on up. A lot of action behind your legs, your glutes. And put your fingertips on your hip points here. Fingertips to your hip points. Think about moving those points closer to your very bottom rib. Breathe in. Take one more breath. Come down. I'm going to set up again for bridge or wheel this time. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, pin your low back down. So hips to ribs. And come up. So by drawing your hip points closer to your bottom rib, you're making more room in your low back. One more long breath in and lower. Drop your knees apart, feet together. You could also go knees together, feet wide. Let your eyes shut down. Come back to that same breathing exercise. So noticing the count of your inhale first. And shifting your awareness to noticing the duration of your exhale. The next few breaths, try to make your exhale twice as long or doubling it. And as you're ready, you're going to build figure 4 on your back, right leg over. I like a rolled blanket or a block under my head here. Might be something you want to grab. And your left foot can stay on the ground, or if you want to pick it up and hug in like Nick's doing, just kind of up to you and where your body's at today. And here again, the amount of tuck or tilt you have in your hip area is going to determine how much or how little you feel in your outer right hip. So turning the volume up on sensation would mean pushing your tail towards the floor. Dialing the volume down would be letting your tail lift. Can you approach it more like a dimmer switch, right? So instead of lights on or off, can you add slow, small increments of brightness or volume? Just pausing and waiting to see how your breath's responding to that, or it's like easing in. Slowly unravel and just let both feet land with bent knees. This moment to take notice of what might have shifted. Come into the left side when you're ready. Again, whole new side. Might require a different approach. Unwind and let your feet land. If you have a block under your head, just move that off to the side. You can Choose an inversion today, whether that's a restorative waterfall with a block. If you're near a wall, you could even scoot over and put your legs up a wall. Shoulder stand. And come into a final twist. Could be both knees across or one. I've really been loving the one where I lay on the side. Why don't we do that one next? So lay on your right side. Reach your arms out in front of you, palm on palm. And slowly lift your left arm up and let it fall open. Switch sides when you're ready. Final rest. Just like the placement of your parts in different poses being super important in this piece that just helps us anchor in, and final rest, the same importance. Where are your palms? Can you equalize the length of your arms, the placement of your hands? Can you equalize the length of your legs, the placement of your heels? If you have any surges of emotion or stress, or you just start spinning mentally, that same breathing exercise of making your exhale longer than your inhale. Give your brain that simple task that should help alleviate some of the worry or anxiety, or just help you settle back in. Let your first movements be small. Eventually moving into either a big stretch or knees in. You can stay on your back or roll to your right side for a little bit. Find your way up to seated. Just sit tall. For today, rest your palms face up at your knees. Whatever you've been holding on tightly in your fists, just envision that floating out of your hands. Your hands together at your heart center. And thumbs to your forehead center. And in honor of this practice and each other, we bow and say, Namaste.
Namaste.